Season 11, Episode 4, SHEAR Mystery Analysis. In last night's episode, SHEAR Mystery, Peter Fornetti and Gary Drayton are metal detecting on the shoreline of Lot 5. Gary finds what appears to be a cribbing spike that was used in building and attaching timbers together. Typically, these items were used in constructing wharves, derricks, platforms, and other constructions. There have been many of these types of spikes found on Oak Island, so it is a typical find for the crew. Although a possible explanation for this type of old-fashioned nail being used may be the unsubstantiated reports of shipbuilding that was going on in the 1700s by then lot owner Caspar Vollenhaupt, who owned Lot 18. This could have been something that was used for such a purpose in various locations on the island. Peter and Gary then find what appears to be a handle to a pair of shears or scissors. This brings up the scissors that were found by Dan Blankenship at Smith's Cove. Gary suggests the 1600s to 1700s time frame for the new artifact. It is also mentioned that Lot 5 has produced some interesting finds that include some suspected Roman coins and what is continually identified as a lead barter token, but is suspected by compendium investigations as being a whirligig buzzer made by British soldiers on the island as a toy to pass the time away. The fact that the lead is the same as the lead cross indicates there may have been a cache of this lead somewhere on the island that was made into musket balls and then into this buzzer. The scene then shifted to the excavation site on Lot 5. More creamware is unearthed, and archaeologist Helen Sheldon remarks that she has never seen in her 40 years of experience this type of covering up of a site. She mentions that they have found a porcelain teacup, pearlware, creamware, whiteware, and etc. This suggests some sort of habitation in the area, most likely some sort of military encampment as compendium investigations suggested last week. It then transitions to the fact of Charles Morris surveying the island in 1762 and creating 32 lots. It suggested that perhaps Morris did this to hide what was occurring on Oak Island because he was a high-ranking Freemason. The compendium fails to see the connection. It is also stated that this activity at the excavation site must have been before Morris surveyed the island. This could be possible, but it may have lasted for several years because they dated the creamware, no earlier than 1762. We are then taken to the interpretive center, where blacksmithing expert Carmen Legger is brought in to give his opinion on the items found on the Lot 5 shoreline by Peter Fornetti and Gary Drayton. Carmen did not examine the crib spike that was found in this episode, but in the past, he has dated others on the island from 1650 to 1800. It's interesting to note that the suspected scissors in question were found right on top of the ground, not buried at any depth. Carmen inspects this piece and concurs with Gary that it appears to be a pair of shears scissors. Carmen dates the scissors from the 1600s to 1700s. It was then suggested that Carmen examine the scissors that Dan Blankenship discovered and compare them with this newly discovered artifact. After Carmen's examination, he felt the new piece of scissors was older than the Blankenship scissors and dated the new artifact from the 1600s. In 1970, Dan Blankenship discovered his wrought iron scissors beneath one of the Smith's Cove box drains. The scissors were analyzed, and the artifact was determined to have been forged in the 17th or 18th century, and that it was of Spanish-Mexican design. Although it is documented that the Smithsonian Institution examined the scissors previously and dated them from the middle of the 19th century or earlier. Please visit http://www.theoakislandcompendium.com for the entire article and more information. Any further updates regarding these finds will appear in our Artifact Alley installments. Good day from the Compendium. Daniel and Charlotte